Jai Hind everyone. Myself Dr. Uma Sharma, Assistant Professor in EC Department of Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Here in this video lecture, we will discuss the introduction to oscillator. This is very important topic of analog circuit. So basically oscillators are the EC generators. With the help of oscillator, we can generate alternating waveform of the desired shape and the desired frequency. So basically oscillators are the frequency generator or waveform generators. The basic principle of oscillator based on the positive feedback. Generally in the amplifier circuits we have seen that we use a negative feedback, but oscillators use positive feedback. Whenever the input signal and the feedback signal both are in phase, that means they are additive in nature, and this type of feedback is known as positive feedback. That means a portion of output signal which is generated through an amplifier is added again at the input side. So basically this is known as concept of positive feedback. So I can say oscillator is an amplifier with a positive feedback. So oscillator are generally a combination of amplifier and a feedback network, and here the positive feedback and the concept of positive and negative feedback I have already told you in the previous lecture. So here my focus is only on positive or regenerative feedback. This is the another name for positive feedback. So regenerative feedback means the feedback energy that can be in the form of voltage or current is in phase with the input signal, and that means it is additive in nature in the input signal. Positive feedback increase the gain of amplifier, obviously, because if input signal increased, that means definitely the output will increase. So that will increase the gain of the amplifier, but along with the increment in the gain, the amplifier will also increase distortion, noise and the instability. But the name suggests it's an oscillator, so we need the oscillations. We don't bother about the stability. For stability case, we definitely use negative feedback, but the drawback of positive feedback here can be used as an application to generate oscillations. So positive feedback generally has any application in the amplifier because of these disadvantages, distortion, noise and instability, but we can use positive feedback to generate oscillations. This is the block diagram of positive feedback. Here you can see that this is the input signal. This waveform represents a sine wave voltage signal. When this signal applied to this amplifier, and if this amplifier introduce a phase shift of 180 degree, then output will be 180 degree out of phase. So representation will be like this. When this signal produced at the output node, a portion of this signal transferred to the amplifier again with the help of this feedback network. So you can see that at the input of this feedback network, the signal is 180 degree out of phase as compared to the input signal, and definitely to add this signal at the input side, we have to introduce another 180 degree phase shift from this feedback network. So the total phase shift is equals to 360 degree, and now you can see that this feedback signal, this is the feedback signal VF, this feedback signal is in phase with this input signal. You can consider another case. Suppose the phase shift introduced by this amplifier is 0 degree. If it's a non-inverting amplifier, there is no phase shift. So if it is 0 degree, that means for generating a positive feedback system, we have to design a feedback network such that the phase shift introduced by this network must be equals to 0 degree. So from there I can conclude that to achieve this positive feedback, either the overall phase shift across this loop should be 0 degree or 360 degree, right? So by using this concept, we will design oscillators. So here you can see that the basic calculation, and you can find out the gain of the network with feedback. Without feedback, you can define the gain. If signal is V input, gain is A, then output will equals to A into V input. But with feedback, you have to apply some nodal analysis, and accordingly we can find the total overall gain of this positive feedback network. So from the diagram, we can find out V input is equals to Vs plus Vf, where Vs is the signal generated from the input source and Vf is the feedback signal, because there is a 360 degree phase shift and it represents the positive sign. So this Vf can be represented as beta times of V output, because this is the fraction of the output signal. So here this beta represents the gain of the feedback network and can be represented as Vf by Vo. Now this V output can be equals to, or the V output will be equals to, definitely the gain of the amplifier into the total signal now after applying the feedback. So now the signal is Vs plus beta times of Vo. By doing the mathematical analysis, we can find that V output by Vs is equals to A upon 1 minus A beta. That represents, after application of this feedback network, which have a gain factor of beta, the overall gain increased by a factor of 1 minus A beta. So this is the gain enhancement factor, 1 minus A beta. So therefore the amplifier gain with feedback can be represented as AF and can be given as AF equals to A divided by 1 minus A beta. So from here we can reach a point where we can derive some condition for the sustained oscillation, for a valid oscillation. So for that, there is a famous scientist known as Barkhausen, and there is a criteria given by the Barkhausen, is known as A beta is equals to 1 is the condition for the gain of any oscillator, so that we can achieve the sustained oscillation. From here you can see that if A beta is equals to 1, that factor will become 0 and the gain will become infinite, and we will get the maximum instability. So we can get the oscillations at the output. So this is known as the gain condition. Magnitude of the loop gain must be equals to 1. If this satisfy, then we have to see the phase shift condition. So another condition stated by the Barkhausen is the phase shift over the loop must be equals to 0 or 360 degree. That we have seen that from the feedback structure. If we want to produce a positive feedback, then definitely the phase shift must be equals to 0 or 360 degree. So these are the two conditions or essential criteria for producing the sustained oscillation. Now we can design different type of oscillators, but in all the oscillators these two conditions must be satisfied, then only we can get the sustained oscillation. This is the classification of oscillator. Oscillators can be classified into broadly into two categories. One is sinusoidal oscillator, second one is the non-sinusoidal oscillator. Sinusoidal oscillator again classify into two categories. One is low frequency and second one is the high frequency oscillators. Under the low frequency oscillator, further classification is like this: RC phase shift and Wein-Briggs twin oscillator. And under the high frequency, there are many oscillators such as Hartley, Colpit, Clap and crystal oscillator. Further, the non-sinusoidal oscillator can be classified again into two categories. One is known as multi-vibrator, second one is known as UJT oscillators like uni junction transistor oscillator. Sinusoidal means the oscillator will produce sine wave at the output. Non-sinusoidal means the oscillator will produce non-sinusoidal waveform such as square wave, triangular wave. So multivibrators are the circuit by which we can produce the square wave. And with the help of UJT also, this is unijunction transistor. So with the help of transistor, we can again produce the waveform, and this comes under the category of non-sinusoidal. So here in this lecture, I'll just brief you the low frequency oscillators. So the first and very popular oscillator is Wien bridge oscillator. This is the block diagram of Wien bridge oscillator using Op-Amp 741. Second important point other than the Barkhausen criteria. First point is Barkhausen criteria. The second thing that is very important to understand, in oscillator there is no need to apply any input because gain is already very high. We are adding gain again and again through the positive feedback. So there is no need to apply any input. So there is no input in the oscillator. Initially, to initiate the process, the noise signal itself work as an input signal. So here you can see that in this diagram, there is no input signal here. The Op-Amp 741 IC is used as an amplifier circuit, whereas these two RC network, RC1 and RC2, these two RC networks are used to design a feedback network. So here we have used amplifier using 741 and feedback network using this RC combination. There is another option for you. You can design this amplifier using the transistor also. I think you have already studied the transistor amplifier. Like common emitter amplifier can be used to implement amplifier part. Op-Amp is the simplest circuit. So here I have shown you the Wien bridge oscillator using Op-Amp, but with the help of transistor, BJT or MOSFET, you can implement any oscillator circuit. So here in Wien bridge oscillator with low and high frequency, that because there are two RC network, that means there two frequency signal can be produced. One RC is responsible for low frequency, one RC network is responsible for the high frequency, but this circuit will gives you a sustained oscillation for the satisfied Barkhausen criteria. This resonant frequency or sustained oscillation frequency can be calculated using this formula Fr equals to 1 upon 2 pi under root of R1 C1 R2 C2, and if R1 R2 equals to R and C1 equals to C2 equals to C, then this frequency can be written as 1 upon 2 pi RC, and with this simple formula we can design a Wien bridge oscillator using this circuit for any frequency just by changing the value of R and C. So this is the simplest design of Wien bridge oscillator. Now let's see another type of RC oscillator or low frequency oscillator is known as RC phase shift oscillator. Basically in case of Wien bridge oscillator, we have used non-inverting configuration. The phase shift is 0 from this amplifier. So definitely from this network the phase shift should be equals to 0 to maintain the Barkhausen criteria. But in case of RC phase shift, just see this diagram, we have used this amplifier model, and you know that common emitter amplifier itself produce 180 degree phase shift. If this is the signal, then at output we will get 180 degree out of phase signal. So here this 180 degree phase shift is produced by this amplifier network. So definitely we want to produce another 180 degree phase shift from this RC network. So to produce the 180 degree phase shift, this is the arrangement, this is how we can get the 180 degree total phase. Basically a simple C and R can produce up to 90 degree phase shift. Simple Lie-Glad circuit can produce 90 degree, but this is the ideal situation. Practically this RC network can provide 60 degree, maximum 60 degree phase shift. So if I join or I connect 3 RC network in series, then at this point the phase shift will be 60 degree, then 120 degree and 180 degree. So this is how I can achieve 180 degree in the feedback network. So if 180 degree provided by amplifier, another 180 degree is provided by feedback networks, the total phase shift across the loop is 360 degree. So here also the Barkhausen criteria is satisfied. So this is how you can design RC phase shift oscillator, and the frequency can be calculated with the help of this formula. The derivation of these oscillators are very simple. You can refer any textbook for the derivation, but the concept I have explained for you. So this is how we can design simple low frequency oscillators. Even for the high frequency circuits, you have to remember one thing: the criteria of sustained oscillation, which is known as Barkhausen criteria, must be satisfied, then only any oscillator can produce oscillation. So this is the primary and the necessary condition for the sustained oscillation. Thank you so much.